Hello, beautiful souls, and thanks so much for tuning in again. My name is Luca, AM Astar, and welcome to 𝑓. So, today we're going to be doing something a little bit special, because instead of using my tarot decks and my oracle decks, I'm going to be using Pokemon to channel messages from source. And this is a collaboration with my inner child, because as a child I always used to love Pokemon, and I actually find it a very interesting way to connect with source, because one of the best ways to connect with source is actually through our inner child. That means by being spontaneous, being playful, and being, very creative. And you don't need to know anything about Pokemon in order to listen to this reading, because again, the main intention is channeling messages from source, and I'm going to be using Pokemon only as a medium to do so. And now originally I actually wanted to use my Pokemon cards, and I looked for them in the entire house because I had this huge folder of Pokemon cards, but I couldn't find them. So my inner child was a little bit devastated. So because I was really excited to do this reading, and then I took a nice long bath, and I had the inspiration to use a random Pokemon generator instead. And that's exactly what I'm gonna be doing. And again, if I would ever do a course on how to channel, this is actually one of the first things I would say. The best way we channel and the best way we connect with source is actually by being playful, by being creative, connecting with our inner child and experimenting and exploring. And we can really use everything as a media to channel messages from source. So if you ever wonder how to channel, or if you would like to learn how to read tarot cards, the last thing we want to do is to research the meaning of all the cards, because we kind of want to just look at a picture, look at an image, feel the energy, and then the first intuitive thought that comes up, that's the message that we need to channel. So I was really guided to be very playful with this. So this is the first time I'm doing it, so I'm very excited to see how this works. But again, we are using Pokemon as a medium to channel messages from source. Alright, enough talking and let's get in. I'm already super excited because Spirit told me to use these 3 Pokemon for today's reading. And as soon as I got the inspiration, a lot of messages already came in. So there is definitely going to be a message for you in every pile. So again, if you feel drawn to more than one pile, you can choose more than one pile, or just listen to all of them, or whatever Pokemon you feel most drawn to. Definitely has a message for you today. Alright, so let's get in. Group number 1 is Celebi. Group number 2 is Jirachi. And group number 3 is Manaphy. They are the mysterious Pokemon of respectively the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th generation. And please use your intuition to tune in to see which group has a message for you. And I'm going to be seeing you in your reading. Hello, beautiful souls. So this is your reading if you have chosen Celebi. And I actually looked into the Pokédex entry of this Pokemon. Again, this is the mysterious Pokemon of the 2nd generation, and this is a legendary Pokemon. That means there is only one of this kind. And as I read through the Pokédex entry, I read that Celebi is a time-traveling Pokemon. And this really tells us a lot about the message that is wanting to come through. So intuitively what I feel with this Pokemon is that right now you are shifting timelines, because Celebi is a Pokemon that sees the fault in a timeline that is not aligned with our soul, and it comes in to align ourselves with the best timeline. And in the story, Celebi is to be found in a shrine in the middle of a forest. And that also tells me a lot about what you're going through right now. So there is this hermit energy coming through, the energy of doing some soul searching, doing a lot of introspection, looking within, really getting to know yourself, almost looking into the dark forest of your subconscious, of your inner world, and finding that sanctuary of your soul. Because with that shrine in the middle of the forest, that's the dwelling place of Celebi. And Celebi to me seems like a Pokemon that is very much connected to the nature of the soul, because it's also green, it's connected to the heart chakra, so the shrine at the center of our heart is the shrine of our soul. And this is where our soul resides basically. And in order to summon our soul, in order to find Celebi, because Celebi is a Pokemon that cannot be found in the regular game play, because there needs to be a flute in order to awaken the Pokemon, or in order to be able to get it. And what this means, like, we can get to know our soul if we play the music of our soul, because when we play the flute, then we can have Celebi in the game. So the game that is our life, it really means, like, the message coming through is that right now you're doing soul searching and you are realigning with your truth. You are finding your sanctuary within your heart, and you are learning how to play the music of your soul in order to allow this soul to come through. And when this soul aspect comes through, then we can align ourselves to a timeline that is in alignment with ourselves basically. And I'm really being made to feel that Source right now is helping you to align to that timeline that is in the highest alignment with your heart. Because it really, there is this sense of, again, connecting with the inner child. And that's why I thought it's a beautiful way to choose Pokemon, to connect with our inner child. And when I say connecting with our inner child, it's not our inner child of this lifetime, but it's our inner cosmic child. It's the eternal child, which is, the knowingness or the state of consciousness that we are truly eternal beings. We are eternal souls. And right now you are moving to a timeline where you can embody that state of consciousness, that you are an eternal child, that you are indeed timeless. And it's really about transcending the limitations of time and moving into this timelessness, because Celebi is a Pokemon that is able to time travel, and it can exist in many timelines simultaneously. And this is actually the nature of our soul. Like, we are not only we're not only experiencing this timeline. Currently our human incarnation does, but we are not only this human incarnation. Like, when we look at ourselves from this soul perspective, then we can literally time travel. Then we literally know that we are in all these timelines at once, in all these dimensions at once. And Celebi is coming through to remind us of that. It's basically reminding us of the nature of our soul. Very, very beautiful message already. And you're definitely going through a heart chakra expansion right now. You're opening your heart and you're getting to know these different soul aspects, these different soul fragments. And again, you are shifting timelines right now. So another message coming through is take refuge in your heart. Right now is a time to be still, to be receptive, to rest, to really look within, and almost waiting Source to do this timeline work, like this shifting of timeline. I'm being made to feel that things are happening in the background, things are happening in the unseen world, and that's why there is this message of going into the dark forest, playing the flute, in order to allow these soul aspects to come forth. And this deep heart chakra healing, because Celebi is also a Pokemon that can heal. It's a Pokemon that when it shows up, it's a sign of prosperity and of great health. And when it shows up, then plants are growing and nature is prosperous. So I'm really being made to feel that right now you are aligning with your highest timeline, where you can be open-hearted, where life is prosperous, and when you are healing all your wounds. And that's why there is almost this anticipation state, like this liminal space where things are very, it's very quiet. So it's very quiet right now so that you can listen to the music of your soul. Beautiful message. I already love it so much. And let's see what Pokemon you have today. We're using the Random Pokémon Generator again because I couldn't find my Pokemon cards. But this gives us actually a bigger range of possibilities because we're going to be using the Pokemon of the first 4 generations. Like, these are the generations that I know most of. I don't know much about the older generations, and I'm collaborating with my inner child today, so I wanted to see, whatever my inner child intuitively connects with the Pokemon that come up. But again, we're going to be channeling messages from Source for your current situation right now. So let's see the 6 Pokemon we have for you today. So Inner Self, dearest Source, thank you so much for giving us 6 Pokemon for my pile number 1. And let's see what we have. Ooh, okay. Oh my goodness, look at this. All right. Okay, that's very rare because we have another mythical Pokemon, and that's actually pile number 3. And it's the pre-evolution of pile number 3. So if you also feel drawn to pile number 3, there is definitely also going to be a message for you in there. But this is super special because this is, it's basically the only pre-evolution of a mythical Pokemon. Because all the other Pokemon, all the legendary Pokemon, they are ungendered and they cannot have offsprings. And Manaphy is the only Pokemon who can have offspring, and that's Fion. And that's, I don't want to say more about that. This could definitely be a sign that there are messages for you in pile number 3. But as I'm looking at the other Pokemon, I'm really strongly being taken to Espeon. And this is an evolution of Evoli. And that's a normal type Pokemon which can evolve in many different types. So we have a fire evolution, we have a psychic evolution, we have a water evolution. Like, it's literally almost you choosing your type. And the type you chose on a soul level is the psychic type, because this is the psychic evolution of Evoli. And this tells me that right now your psychic gifts are expanding. Your psychic gifts are like, there is a lot of claircognizance is coming through. So you can, like, you are a very old soul. And your psychic abilities are expanding, but it happens as a result of a Kundalini activation. So with this serpent, I'm really being taken to, again, the serpent realm, the underworld, everything that's mystical and mythical. But it's very interesting that this Pokemon is a poison Pokemon. So you have been letting go of all the poisons which have been almost holding you back from expanding your spiritual gifts. Because this Kundalini activation could have been a very intense process, because with Torkoal coming through, there is almost this Sekhmet energy coming through of heat and destruction. Maybe you have been going through a lot of chaos, a lot of shadow work, a lot of maybe even pain or challenging experiences. But this was so that all these poisons can come to the surface. And a Kundalini activation is a process which actually goes on for a lot of years. Like, it's not that the Kundalini is activated and then you're all enlightened and all blissful and all beautiful. Like, actually, I've been going through a Kundalini activation and it's been going on for years because there can be this first surge of energy, and then after this first flash, let's say, all the deep emotions come up, and then we do a lot of shadow work. And then once that is done, then we can have a next surge of energy, or a next flash of energy, and then past life pains can come up, and then we have to process all of that, and then it's like a really long process. And actually I just have had one of these flashes where things came up that I didn't even know were inside me, like really pains from past lifetimes. And these are these poisons which actually keep us away. I don't say they keep us away, but they are in the way of us fully embodying our soul essence in this lifetime. Because again, centering your reading is epsilon. It's about your psychic abilities, your spiritual expansion, your spiritual development. And with the rattle, I'm really being taken to the rattle of Hathor. So Hathor, one of the symbols of Hathor is the rattle or the sistrum. And this is actually the cosmic vibration. This is the energy of the Great Mother, again Shakti, Kundalini. And it's about attuning yourself to the vibration, to the cosmic vibration. And everything which is not aligned with your true essence, with your truth basically, is almost being shaken up. It's being rattled and vibrated out of your field. And that's why right now you could feel like there is a lot of heat, or this is actually more past energy, like it feels like, yeah, it feels like you're changing your vibration. You are moving to a higher octave. You are, yeah, literally like you're changing the music of your soul. Maybe you have been going on a record player, like a broken record player, always listening to the same song, always playing the same tones, but now it's almost you're changing the record itself, like you're changing the music, like you're transcending karmic cycles, you're letting go of the old stories. And it happens through this heat, through this chaos, through the fire of purification. And that's a really strong message coming through. Hathor and Sekhmet are very present right now in this reading. And funnily enough, as I look at Chikorita, this is the starter Pokemon of the second generation. And for some reason I see the energy of the Page of Swords. So instead of swords, there are leaves. So the leaves are the two sides. It's this double-sided quality of thoughts, because the thinking is almost dissecting things. It's like compartmentalizing things, like moving things apart. And it's this, seeing things with clarity, analyzing things, but still having this unified vision. So there is almost this feeling like it could be that you're a very analytical person. Could be that you have a lot of air energy in your chart, that maybe you have been looking at things through the logical lens, looking at things from a more down-to-earth approach, maybe a more practical approach. But right now it's about having this single-eyed vision, the energy of the third eye, the energy of this holistic vision. It's almost like you are evolving your way of looking at things. And yes, you're gaining greater clarity of your life, of current situation, of what is going on in your life. And with this Pokemon, there is this Cancer energy coming through, where maybe you have been hiding in a hard shell. Maybe you have kept things very close to your heart, because in the previous phase of your life, where you needed to let go of all these maybe restrictions or of all these poisons, you needed to have a hard shell in order to protect the softness of your heart, to protect these deeper parts of your soul. But since all these soft parts are coming out now, there is a message that, and it adds up to 6, the energy of unconditional love. Like, it's time to open your heart now. It's time to allow these softer parts of yourself to be shown, to come to the surface. And it's almost, exiting your house, almost getting out of your comfort zone. And it's not even it's not even changing places or moving to a new place, but almost being where you are, embracing where you are, embracing your home, because that's your home basically. Our home is our heart, but still seeing what it means to show your vulnerability, or to show the softer aspects of who you are, and seeing how then the entire environment changes. So it's not about moving to a new place, it's not about moving somewhere else or changing dimensions or transcending somewhere. It's like home is where the heart is. Everything we want to achieve or everything we want to create is actually within ourselves. But the only thing we need to do is allow these aspects of ourselves to be birthed into creation. And yeah, showing our vulnerability. And this is actually what connects us to Source, what connects us to our soul and our heart and our inner child. It's about being vulnerable and showing our emotions and exploring our creativity, also solar plexus energy with the yellow color coming through. Like, it's okay to take action and it's okay to follow our passions. And I want to say something about this Pokemon, but I'm really being told that if you feel called to watch pile 3, then please do so. But I feel that's not the message for this reading, but there is definitely something special about also, the water element seems significant. But before I continue, I feel called to generate 6 other Pokemon. I love this reading, it makes me so excited and my inner child is thriving. So it was good to listen to their guidance and inspiration. So let's see what else there is for you today. Thank you so much, dearest Source, for giving us 6 more Pokemon for my pile number 1. Okay, yes. So definitely that's a confirmation that right now it's a time to rest. Right now it's more a time to integrate. Because again, there is a confirmation that your claircognizant abilities are expanding. Because Crobat is a bat Pokemon and they live in the forest, in the cave. And they are very perceptive because they communicate with ultrasound. And for some reason, I'm being made to feel that it also has to do with rebirth. So there is a rebirth happening, but again, a rebirth of your psychic abilities, where you are able to tune into these cosmic frequencies, these cosmic vibrations, like you're becoming more sensitive, that's what I want to say. And you're better able to pick up on the subtle vibrations that come from the ethers, that come from the cave, from the underworld. And that's why right now with Relaxo, Snorlax, there is this feeling of reintegration, rest. And also this is the color teal, which brings me to the bridge between the heart chakra and the throat chakra. So I'm being made to feel that this is where work is happening in your field right now, almost allowing this heart-centered perspective to then be communicated through the throat, where it's almost this liminal space before you can take flight, this liminal space where you can allow the fullness of your spirit to take flight, because 18, 1 plus 8 adds up to 9. 9 is the absolute, it's the spirit, like having wings. And Pidgeot is, I believe, it's the second or the last evolution of a flying Pokemon. But it's about spreading your wings and about, again, exploring that aspect of your soul. And it's almost every time where there was rigidity, because with this Pokemon I'm also being taken to this hard shell where before it was a hard shell where you needed to protect yourself, but there is also a layer that maybe has to do with a fixed way of looking at things. Maybe you're also a fixed sign, Aquarius, Taurus, or Leo. And yes, you're basically changing your perspective so that you can have a more, a higher perspective on your life, a higher way of looking at things, whereas here it's more a grounded level. But it's good to have that groundedness if you are a Taurus or if you are an earth sign, but it's almost about bringing in this higher perspective. And that's why right now there is almost this feeling of resting, of not doing a lot, not doing too much, because your field is I'm seeing new threads being woven, new pathways being opened for you, like really yeah, it happens a lot in also your sleep. And that's why with Snorlax there is also this sense of looking at your dreams, looking at your sleep. And if I remember correctly, in the game, Snorlax is almost in the way, so we cannot pass and go to the next level of the journey. So that's why right now there is almost this sleeping Snorlax in the way. Spirit and Source asking you to almost relax and rest in this moment. Because once you have the flute, once you're able to play the music of your soul, again I'm being taken back to Celebi at the beginning of the introduction, when you have this music, then Snorlax can awaken and you can move to the next level. And the next level is you flying, you exploring your wings, seeing what it means to be an awakened being. With Electrike there is again this sense of Kundalini activation, electrifying, like I'm being made to feel with this 8 of Wands energy. Like things are gonna pick up pace a lot. And I'm also being made to feel like it says 100, the Pokemon number 100. And this is actually a Pokeball Pokemon. It's an electric type. And this tells me that there are unlimited possibilities waiting for you. There are unlimited, because this is a Pokeball and every Pokemon can come out of this. So it's this unlimited ways on how to create your reality, on how to serve. Because with electricity, I'm also being taken to service. I'm being made to feel on a soul level, you are an activator. You are activating the heart of souls, basically, because this is also the color green, and again it connects us to the heart. And by this strike, this bolt, like almost this lightning bolt of your soul, you are showing other people the infinite potential of creation, the infinite potential of what it means to be a creator being. Like there is a lot of creation wanting to come through, and a lot of dynamic energy, and a lot of making things happen, because it's the heart and the solar plexus, and it's creating from that space where we are unlimited, where there are no limitations, maybe no stubbornness, no rigidity, but again this fluidity. And now I'm being taken back to Fiona, where it's almost the only Pokemon which has a pre-evolution. Like it's almost the message coming through, like we can write our own rules. It doesn't always need to be the same, or it's not that even if, let's say, legendary Pokemons, they cannot have offspring, it's still possible because there are still exceptions. So it's almost about you writing new rules and you almost defying the rules of the universe, because you can write your own rules. Again, it's about creating from that place of limitlessness, of timelessness, where we move beyond all perceived restrictions. Oh my goodness, I absolutely love this reading. I absolutely love the energy. And let's do one more. So one last 6 Pokemon for pile number 1. What messages are there for my pile number 1? Okay. I'm just getting more and more confirmation. We have another legendary Pokemon. Like, look at this. This is so amazing. I love this for you. Because this is almost a continuation of the pile before, or like the Pokemon before. Because now this electricity turns into a master, turns into the fully evolved version of it. Because Zapdos is a flying Pokemon, but it's also an electric Pokemon. Before it was a common Pokemon, but now you're turning into a master. So in this lifetime, you are here to master the way how you serve your community. And you're also mastering how to almost shape energy, because thunder connects us to the energy of Zeus, the energy of Sekhmet, it's life force energy. And it's really bringing in this, it adds up to 10. It's about this awakening of spirit, but it happens through creation. So you're definitely on a spiritual path, or yes, you're definitely meant to awaken. You're definitely you are very tapped into your mission. There's also a message coming through. And yeah, Ratiket, why do we have... Yeah, you're jumping into a new timeline. You're literally shifting timelines right now. And with this sphere, I'm being taken to the higher heart chakra. So what is happening right now? It's helping you almost bounce into this timeline where you can look at things from this crystalline perspective. It wouldn't shock me if you resonate with being a crystal child, or yeah, like it's the path of the heart. That's what I'm hearing. And it's very beautiful. This cactus Pokemon also wears the crown, and that's the crown of sovereignty. That's the crown of, yeah, being connected with your inner divinity. And it's almost about, yeah, moving around with this open crown, moving around with this gem, with this crystalline vision. This almost feels like the crystallization of that vision. What I have been mentioning before, like Relaxo or Snorlax, the time where you need to integrate so that this new way of looking at things can manifest. I'm being made to feel this is the crystallization of that level of consciousness. And once it's crystallized, once it's manifested, once it's solidified, then you can literally jump timelines and you can gain mastery, because it has to do with your self-mastery. It has to do with, yes, with this energy coming through, like you're very resilient and you're very loyal to your path. You're very committed to your path. And also, you're learning to be also more fierce, because you can still be open-hearted while having your boundaries. Because maybe before you were super open-hearted, you were very giving, but people might have been overstepping your boundaries. They might have been not respecting your boundaries. But since this has these spikes, like you have learned to put in boundaries so that you can still be open-hearted, so that you can still move from this compassionate way of being, way of looking at things, but still having your spikes and like saying, okay, these are my boundaries and I don't need to overextend in order to serve. I don't need to sacrifice my own well-being in order to be this compassionate being. Like I can be open-hearted while still having my boundaries on. And this is what the spikes are wanting to tell us. And with this, yeah, I'm almost feeling like you're entering this phase where there is a lot of aha moments, a lot of full circle moments. And when you can connect with this Page of Cups energy, because with this I'm really being taken to the Page of Cups where, yeah, we can operate from the state of consciousness of being our inner cosmic child, from knowing that everything is possible, knowing that we can create from a place where we are connected with our passions and our emotions. Like we can be this master, we can have this high perspective, but we can still be this fluffy, cute little ball full of love and of innocence and purity. And this is the mastery, being fierce, having boundaries, but still embodying this purity. And almost, yeah, with this energy coming through, there is the energy of resilience, of being committed to our path. And funnily enough, with this Pokemon, I'm being taken to the analogy of a mushroom. And for some reason, I'm feeling shared to share. I'm feeling called to share this. So when we think of ourselves as human beings, it's almost like we are mushrooms. That's a very funny analogy. So basically what we see over the ground, what we see in the physical realm, basically, that's, let's say, the mushroom head, which we can then pick, or it's like the visible mushroom. But what the mushroom actually is, the fungi actually is the underground net of mycelium. I think that's called the roots, let's say, like the roots of the fungi, the roots of the network of mycelium. And what I'm being told here is that we are not only the mushroom over the ground. We are not only the human, like we're not only this physical incarnation, but what we actually are. We are this whole network of mushrooms. And this is actually, telling us that we are so much vaster than we think. Everything is so much more intricate and so much more interconnected than we are able to see from a more mundane state of consciousness. So this really tells us about, again, connecting to a higher state of consciousness, where we see the interconnectedness between things and operating from that state of consciousness, again, this higher consciousness, where we are not only a single mushroom, but we see ourselves as this network of souls, this network that is interwoven with spirit. And yes, we can still have feet and we can still walk this earth plane, but we are never separated from the mother. We are never separated from the spirit web. And this is the biggest message right now, that no matter if we feel that things are stagnant, or no matter if we even feel that we are disconnected from our purity or from our heart, we are never disconnected. And the only reason why we might feel disconnected in the present moment is because there is a transmutation happening, where we are being aligned with our truth. Again, we are allowing to play the music of our soul, and it has to do with heart chakra expansion. What a beautiful message, what a beautiful energy. Oh my goodness, I absolutely love this way of channeling messages from source. And so this was your message for today. I really hope you resonated with the messages, and please let me know in the comments if you did. And I'm also offering personal readings, so you find all the information in the description box below. And I'm wishing you a very beautiful day, or whenever you're tuning in. And I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Hello, beautiful soul. So this is your reading if you have chosen Jirachi. And this is my absolutely favorite Pokemon. I don't know why. There are I don't know how many hundreds of Pokemon, but for some reason this Pokemon really speaks to me. And yeah, we're channeling messages from source. So let's see what this Pokemon has for us today. But definitely already as I'm looking at this Pokemon, I'm being told that your wishes are being granted. Because Jirachi has these little leaves on their head. And this is actually, it's inspired by a Japanese Shinto festival, which is called Tanabata. And it happens, I believe it's either in spring or in summer. And this is a time where it's connected with the Pleiades, so it's definitely connected to some story of the stars. But what happens during that festival is basically that people write their wishes and their dreams on a little prayer paper, something like a prayer flag, and they put it onto a cherry blossom tree or on a tree. And this is really the time where almost the stars are, granting our wishes. And the story of this Pokemon is a very beautiful one, because Jirachi sleeps for 1,000 years, and every 1,000 years they wake up in order to grant wishes to the people. And while they sleep, while they are in this 1,000 year of sleep, their stomach, which is actually an eye, is open. So even if they are asleep, they are still protected by their inner eye, which is actually their main eye. And this really tells me that right now you are going through a inner eye awakening. Like your third eye, your inner eye is being opened. And this is what protects you in every situation in life. So even if you are asleep, or even while you sleep, you have still the protection of your spirit guides. Or it's almost you're letting go of fears, because your inner eye is opening. So you are seeing things clearly. You're no longer looking at things from a fear-based perspective. Because the fear-based perspective, that's the perspective of duality, where there is good and evil, this and that, light and shadow. But what is happening right now is that the inner eye is being opened. And this allows us to have a single-eyed vision, where we are transcending beyond all fears, and where, literally our wishes are being granted. So I'm really being told that almost as a result of all this spiritual work that you have been doing, I'm also being made to feel you have done a lot of shadow work, almost this period of hibernating for 1,000 years. It could have been feeling like 1,000 years. Maybe you have gone through a long period of things not working out in your favor, or where things have been literally asleep. Things have not really been moving, or just a lot of you wanting to be awake, you wanting to shine, you wanting to be that star, but almost you having to go through this phase of 1,000 years of hibernation. But now is the time when Jirachi is awakening, and she is granting you the 3 wishes that you might have. So you might have 3 wishes specifically, but the message coming through here, everything you have been wishing for, or everything you have been trying to manifest, is actually directly connected to your spiritual growth. Because the universe has these funny things of almost wanting us, like our desires, they are connected with our spiritual growth in a sense. So for example, if we try to manifest a relationship, for example, or if we try to manifest a stable income, for example, then these wishes, they have to do something with the spiritual growth that we are meant to undergo in this lifetime. So for example, if I really wish to have a relationship or to manifest a relationship, then I need to learn to find that love within myself first, and to learn to nurture myself before I can have this relationship. Or for example, if I seek stability through like making a lot of money, I first have to find that stability within myself before I can have money from outside sources, or stability through money. So there is almost this message coming through that all your wishes are obviously being granted to you, but they are also connected with your spiritual evolution. And the message coming through is that we don't want to rush this evolution. We want to allow nature to take its course. Because we cannot force Jirachi to awaken. We cannot force things to happen. We cannot force these dreams that we have to be granted before it's time for them to be granted. But after these 1,000 years have passed, then Jirachi is awakening and all the wishes are being granted. Which of course doesn't mean that you have to wait for 1,000 years for your wishes to be granted. At least I don't hope so. But another beautiful thing in the story, and now this is where the magic comes in, there is an exception, and Jirachi can also be awakened through the voice of purity. So that means we don't necessarily have to wait 1,000 years for our wishes to be granted, but when our intention is pure, then Jirachi is awakening and she is granting us the 3 wishes we might be having, or more wishes, or whatever we want to manifest. And this is a really powerful message, because when we move through this life with integrity, when our intentions are pure, then the whole universe is conspiring in our favor to grant us our wishes. So when our wishes, one of the wishes that we might have, is not only serving ourselves, but it's serving the collective at large, and it's contributing to the well-being of the entire universe. If it's coming from a pure place, then the wishes are being granted, and then we can maybe have it even a bit earlier, instead of having to spend lifetimes and lifetimes chasing dreams that are not really holding a lot of value. And with this energy coming through, it's really about making sure that our dreams are in alignment with our soul, because when they are, then everything is possible. So whatever we want to manifest in our life, as long as it's connected with our truth, with our essence, then the universe is helping us to manifest this. But literally, since Jirachi is awakened now, I'm definitely being made to feel that maybe you even have 3 wishes that you're trying to manifest, and one of them is about to enter your life. And it's really coming up like one of the main wishes that you had, the one in the middle, that's about to trickle into your reality. And then after that, maybe 2 other wishes that you have been wanting to manifest are coming in. But now is a time of blessings. Now is a time of, this beautiful, pure energy to be birthed again. This Jirachi, like Jirachi appearing, that's a super unique energy, like it's something once in a lifetime. So what I'm being made to feel now, what's happening now, is something you will remember for your entire lifetime. Maybe it's really a relationship that you have been trying to manifest. Maybe it's a house that you always wanted to buy. Maybe it's a project you always wanted to start. But the thing that is gonna come in now is something that you're gonna be cherishing for your entire life, because these are soul wishes coming through. It's not like an ego-based wish coming through, but it's like the holy trinity of wishes, like the three biggest things on your bucket list, or the three biggest things you want to manifest. They are starting to come in right now. What a beautiful energy. And you might also resonate with being a starseed, because Jirachi is coming from space or from the stars. And yeah, it's actually a steel Pokemon, a steel and psychic Pokemon. So even if you are very pure from the outside, even if you are looking like a cuddly little sweet thing, like the shell is super hard because it's actually made out of steel, but it's an organic steel. So it's almost, yes, you're super strong, you're super fierce, you have a lot of knowledge because you are an old soul, you come from the stars, but you're still showing up as this pure, cute little being. And that's true strength. Being pure, being open-hearted, but still having a strong shell where you know your boundaries, you know your weight almost. Because it's a bit contradicting. You wouldn't think that this is a steel Pokemon because it looks so soft and so kind, but actually it's about don't underestimate your own power, because you're much more powerful than you sometimes think. And almost I'm being taken to this inner eye that is closed. It's still powerful when the inner eye is closed, but when it's open, it's even more strong, because then I think it's shooting a beam or something, like you're unleashing your true power when your inner eye is opened. And that's also the next part in your process. Maybe you have been wanting to almost open your spiritual gifts in order to serve better, or in order to have a better outlook on life. And this opening of your inner eye that is also happening is part of your gifts coming in, where you are getting in touch with your true power. You're getting in touch with your star being, actually, with your, it's about Christ consciousness. It's about the awakening of your consciousness. And yeah, I'm being made to feel this is part of one of your wishes. Even if it's not directly what you have been wishing for, but this is, let's say, the first thing that needed to happen so that the other three wishes could be granted. Because again, everything we wish for is directly or indirectly connected with our spiritual growth. Beautiful energy, beautiful message. I'm very excited to see what comes up for you. So again, we're using this Random Pokémon Generator in order to channel messages from Source. So thank you so much, Source. Thank you so much, Inner Self, for giving us 6 Pokemon for my pile number 2. What messages are there for my pile number 2? Well, let's see, we have 6 here. Generate. Okay. Oh my goodness! No way! Oh, this, wow. Like this, wow. I'm really amazed. Like, this is very divinely guided, because in pile 1 we also had not Manaphy, not pile 3, like we also had a mythical legendary Pokemon coming up. And in this pile it's again. So maybe you feel called to pile number 1 because Celebi is coming up. Like literally there can be, I don't know how many, like 500 Pokemon, and this one shows up. Like, come on. This is not a coincidence for sure. So the message coming through, definitely, if you feel called to pile number 1, please also watch pile number 1. There is definitely going to be a message for you in there as well. But this is again telling me about, yeah, it's a confirmation that this soul embodiment, this higher self embodiment, if you come from pile number 1, we have been talking about integrating our soul and also moving from that, operating from that heart-centered perspective, and almost knowing that, yes, you're so special, you're so beautiful in your essence. Like, you don't need to do much in order to shine. Like, it's a legendary Pokemon, but it's a very small Pokemon. So it's not about the outer appearance. It's not even about what you accomplish in life. Because very often maybe we are focused on what we can do, what we can achieve, what we can create, what legacy we can leave. But it's not even about that. Our life is about how true could we be to our soul? How much could we allow our soul to be expressed? And it's not about creating a lot of things, or it's not even about the quantity of the things that we're creating, the quantity of about how much money we make, the quantity about how many people we inspire or how much impact we make. No, it's about how authentically ourselves could we be in this lifetime, how true to our heart could we be, how much did we allow our soul to come forth. And that's the actual weighing of the heart. I'm being taken to the weighing of the heart in the halls of Ma'at, which is Judgment Day. Basically, it's when we leave this physical incarnation, like we're not even looking at how much we could serve or how much impact we did. No, it's really about, yes, again, being true to ourselves. I don't want to repeat myself here, but this is the seed that we want to plant. This is like operating from this state of consciousness. We are wanting to act from that place, because all the seeds that we are planting from this state of consciousness, they have the potential to grow into a prosperous tree. Because again, this is the seed of an oak tree, and the oak tree is really also in the Norse mythology the world tree, Yggdrasil, or in the Celtic mythology, where the oak tree is an analogy of our soul connection, like the whole soul tree. And we as souls, we are the stem in the middle. We are the tree trunk. We are the eye. We are, when I say eye, it's the eye of consciousness, the one eye, the single eye. It's not the ego eye, but it's the spiritual eye. It's that, the tree trunk. And the tree trunk is connected with the roots that lead to the underworld, but it's also connected to the branches, which are our higher selves, our soul aspect, our star family in the higher dimensions. And when we act and operate from that place that we are the whole tree, we are not only the eye, the spiritual eye, but we are all of our spirit guides. We are all of the star families. We are the entirety of the world tree. We are the cosmic tree. We are the whole universe. When we operate from that state of consciousness, when we plant a seed from that way of being, then literally, like, this is the biggest impact we can do. It's not even about how tall the tree will grow, because there is only one tree, and the branches and the roots, they move to infinity. So it's not even about, it's very hard to put this in words, but it's almost about knowing that when we are ourselves, all we need to do in this lifetime basically is just being true to ourselves and being authentic with ourselves. And very often when we try to manifest something, let's say if it's about manifesting a relationship, or if you're wanting to manifest money or something, we think we need to change ourselves in order to attract our soulmate, or we need to change ourselves in order to get the job of our desires. I don't know that we need to, but it's not about that. We are perfect as we are, and we don't need to change anything. Maybe if we want to have a fixed income, then yes, we might have to change routine. We might have to be more resilient. We might have to change our way of doing things. But we don't have to change ourselves. We don't have to, we don't have to do anything which is not in alignment with who we are. Because when we try to change ourselves, then this is also almost creating a filter where, for example, if we try to manifest a soulmate, if we try to change, if we are not authentically ourselves, then our soulmate won't be able to recognize us, because our soulmate loves us for our soul. Our soulmate loves us for our essence. They love us for the truth that we are. But if we try to act like someone else who we are not, then we're almost putting a mask in front of us. So yes, it's about being fully true to ourselves. So some of you definitely have been manifesting love, because it says love disc. It's this beautiful heart-shaped Pokemon. And it's very much about letting go of the spells of almost this hypnotic dream state, because Hypno is this Pokemon who is hypnotizing people. So it's really about, yes, letting go of all this conditioning from society, like so much that has to do with relationships and with how we conduct our life has so much to do with being hypnotized by this social conditioning, or hypnotized by maybe outdated beliefs. So it's really about letting go of all these outdated beliefs, letting go of all these stories, all these illusions, so that we can fully and truly be ourselves and manifest the love that we deserve, or manifest the life that we deserve. Because again, if we plant seeds from that place of being, then it's going to be prosperous, it's going to be successful, we're going to succeed. And with this energy that is coming through, it's again, prosperity coming through, moving from a heart-centered space, but almost this I'm being taken to the Knight of Swords, where it's about moving forward, about making things happen, not holding yourself back. Really, maybe you have been in this hypnotized sleep where you almost couldn't act, or you almost couldn't go out, or you were literally under a spell. But this is the spell, like it has nothing to do with you personally, but it's this spell that has been that has been repeating itself for ages. And what you're doing right now is letting go of this spell, like you're literally waking up from this illusion and you're moving forward in alignment with your soul, like you're moving forward with making things happen that are in alignment with your heart, with your truth, with your love. And this brings in the greatest prosperity, the greatest joy, the greatest abundance. And with this, I'm really being taken to, this is, it says Qingling. This is the pre-evolution of Chimeko, and it's a bell Pokemon. Like this is a, how do you say, a little bell. And the message coming through with this is the vibration we send out. The sound we make with our bell is the sound that is coming back. So if those of you who are trying to manifest a relationship or trying to call in your soulmate will respond to that frequency. So the more you are true to yourself without needing to change anything, this is what attracts your soulmate, or this is what attracts true love. Because again, when we wear masks, then we attract relationships that love us for our mask, or that see us for our mask. But we're wanting to let go of the mask. We're wanting to wake up from this illusion and embody our souls, embody ourselves. And once we do, then this is the vibration that is radiating out of our heart. And the relationships, the situations, and the circumstances that vibrate with that frequency will naturally be attracted to us. These are two psychic Pokemon, so I'm almost being made to feel you are already psychically connected with your soulmate. Even if you're not trying to manifest a soulmate, I'm almost being made to feel what you're trying to manifest is this hearty connections, like hearty friendships, you calling in your tribe, you calling in people that see you for who you are. And they come in when you see who you are, when you see the entirety and the beauty of your soul without needing to change anything. And again, when this vibration radiates from your heart, then everything is naturally coming into place. With this energy coming through, you're almost making a seductive dance. And it's like you're not chasing things, but the thing you're desiring is being drawn to you naturally, because you're almost in this yeah, almost in this trance state where you're so connected with your heart, where you're so connected with spirit. So you almost become an enigma. You almost become this magical, alluring, seductive being, and everything then comes to you. Like you don't have to chase anything. It's about attracting, chasing rather than attracting. No, sorry, attracting rather than chasing. Now I got confused. But yeah, see, this is the spell. This is sometimes like things, thought patterns that are so deeply ingrained. Sometimes they also work on autopilot. And right now you're really letting go of this autopilot, of this same way of thinking, this same way of looking at things, and really breaking the spell. What a beautiful energy. I love this so much. This gives me so much joy, and what a unique way of connecting with Source. But yeah, let's see what else we have. We're channeling messages from Source for pile number 2. Okay. This is 100% confirmation. Some of you are manifesting a soulmate, because this is it flying and bug type Pokemon, and they come in pairs. So there is basically the male, this is the male version of this Pokemon, and there is also a female version of that Pokemon. And regardless of your gender, it's almost this feeling of you waiting for your divine counterpart, or it's almost this feeling of, yeah, you looking for your better half, because again they come in pairs and the male figure is showing up. So even if you're not trying to manifest a soulmate relationship, what you're looking for is your divine feminine counterpart. But it's nothing outside of yourself, because when we think about the divine feminine energy, that's the energy of, yes, our soul, of everything that's mystical and magical, everything that is connected with the underworld world, with the spirit world. I'm really being taken to the deep sea with this Pokemon. This is a water Pokemon, and it's very deep, like they swim in the ocean very deep where things are very dark. So there is almost again this energy of soul searching coming through. Like not searching your divine counterpart, or maybe your soulmate or your divine feminine in the outside world, but almost connecting within, connecting with your subconscious, connecting whatever you try to manifest, whatever you try to reach. We're not looking for it in the outside world, but we want to find it within ourselves. And with Spirit Tom coming through, that's exactly this energy of connecting with spirit. This is also a ghost Pokemon. I think it's ghost or psychic, ghost and psychic. And yeah, it's almost about following the light of your soul and almost asking yourself what it is that you're actually trying to manifest. Not look at the apparent things. Let's say, for example, if you want to manifest a house, or if you want to manifest a family, or if you want to manifest a relationship, like what do you think is that house or that relationship going to give you what you don't have within yourself? So maybe if you want to build a house, like are you seeking stability? And what makes you feel that you don't have stability in your life? Or if you're wanting to manifest a relationship, a love relationship, what in your life makes you feel that you don't have that love? And almost taking that step back and looking within, asking yourself, what is it actually that your soul wants? And when you can pinpoint that, when you know exactly what it is, then it's easier for this to come to you, because most of the times the things that we're trying to manifest are not the actual things that we want. So maybe you just want, instead of, for example, wanting intimacy, maybe you want to feel seen or to feel heard. Or maybe instead of wanting money, you want to feel secure. Again, it's really having this inner conversation, this truly honest conversation with yourself about what it is that your soul actually is yearning for. And knowing that it's fine to yearn for something, knowing that it's okay to wanting love in your life, it's okay wanting to have stability in your life, but it's almost about detaching yourself from it so that it can come in, because we cannot manifest things if we are attached to how and when they come in. And almost in the meantime, filling yourself with exactly that energy that you try to manifest. Because again, the energy that we are vibrating at is the energy that we are drawing in. So that's why when you tune in with your inner self, when you maybe do a lot of meditation or look at the deeper parts of your psyche, you're then getting to know yourself, your actual wishes, what you actually want. And then when you have identified that, then it's easier for this to come in. And with Slakot, it's a sloth basically. Again, similar message to pile number 1. Right now is a time for rest, taking things slowly, taking things one step at a time, because your divine counterpart is coming in. Your house is coming in. Whatever wish you try to manifest, it's coming in. Because again, you're meant to have this in your life. You're meant to, like these Pokemon, they are meant to show up in pairs. You're meant to have what you have been asking for. And the same thing goes with this Pokemon. We have a legendary Pokemon again. It's so beautiful. Like this is Azelf, and they also come in 3. So you're not only manifesting your soulmate relationship, but you're also manifesting your soul tribe, where yes, you're finally aligning with relationships that see you for who you are, where you can unleash that magical aspect of yourself. And with this, I'm also being taken to Cancer energy, more specifically to Osiris. It's actually the relationships that will be coming in from now on. They will help you get to know or almost gather the fragments of your soul. Because when we think about the story of Isis and Osiris, that's an analogy of all the fragments of our souls which have been lost, let's say. So all of our lifetimes, all of our experiences, like when we incarnate in this human incarnation, then most of it is forgotten. Most of the parts, most of the fragments of our soul, they are scattered around. But through the energy of Isis, through the energy of the divine feminine, like she is weaving these parts together. So when we connect with the divine feminine, when we meditate, when we tune inward through the spirit mother, through the energy of Isis, we can then recollect, remember, and recover these lost aspects or these lost fragments. It's almost about creating this full picture and remembering all the aspects of who you are. And the more we remember, the more we draw in our soul tribe. Because when we embody our star being, when we, for example, remember that we have had a past lifetime in Sirius, for example, or in the stars, for example, then the souls who have shared that lifetime with you in Sirius or in the stars, they will feel this activated energy and they will be naturally drawn towards you. That's why it's almost changing the approach of how you manifest things, like the answer is within. When you activate these aspects within yourself, this is what draws in all of your manifestations. Again, for some of you soulmate, for some of you soul tribe, but it's about feeling love on a deeper level. Oh my goodness, I love this reading so much. Let's see, last one. I did three Pokemon rounds for pile 1 as well. So let's see the last messages for pile number 2. 3? No, 2, yeah. Okay. Okay, definitely. So you are retrieving a pearl. You are retrieving new wisdom. This is exactly the soul fragment I was talking about, where you go to the depth of the ocean, you find this shell, and you open the shell, and there is this beautiful oyster inside, like this beautiful pearl inside. And yeah, also for some of you, Kundalini activation as well, where it's about bringing forth divine feminine wisdom. And again, it's a very similar message to pile 1 again, so maybe you feel drawn to pile 1. Definitely there was also Celebi showing up, so please, if you want to check it out, there is definitely also messages for you in there as well. But it's also, it's about removing the goo, removing the poison, removing this stagnant energy. And I'm being made to feel that, yes, you're stepping into a phase where your serpent energy is being activated, where your Kundalini is being activated, so that all this sticky, poisony stuff can come to the surface and can be moved out. And yeah, you're reconnecting with your fierceness. Also, if you feel called to check your Chiron placements and your Lilith placements. There is something about Chiron or Lilith being in Scorpio, and Chiron and Lilith, they have to do with our deepest soul wounds, like our deepest shadows, or like it's the wounded healer. So maybe one of the things that you have to heal or transform before having your soulmate or your dreams manifesting has to do with healing your Chiron or Lilith. Something coming up very strongly here. But yeah, this is making way for this Kundalini activation, where I love this, where it's almost like you're looking at life through the eyes of a child again, with full of wonder. You're like, whoa! Exactly this expression, like, wow, I didn't know that life can be so beautiful, or I didn't know that there is so much magic, or I didn't know that magic is possible. Like, what is happening with this process is that you maybe don't have to be so fierce anymore. You don't have to almost push through things, because with this energy I'm being made to feel trying to manifest things, trying to manifest abundance by almost a little bit of frustration, a little bit of resistance. But this comes from this outdated way of doing things, like this sticky stuff, this sticky energy, this sticky ancestral energy, which is not even yours. And that's why this is being almost vibrated out of your field. It's being transmuted out of your field, so that you can find this hidden gem, so that you can allow this pearl to come through. And yeah, it's this energy of being super excited and having your antennas out. So definitely, again, I'm being taken to this third eye energy, where you see yourself as an antenna. And when we change this way of looking at things, because so many people still operate from the belief that consciousness is being produced by our brain. And that is almost the same as if we would be looking for the spokesperson inside a physical radio. So this is obviously not how it works. Like, consciousness is not being produced by the brain. We are antennas of consciousness. We are literally like a receiver of a signal, and we are vibrating that out. So it's really about fine-tuning our inner dial, our inner switch, because when we switch our antenna, when we switch the frequency that we are tuned in, then the entire music changes. Again, we have the music of the soul again. Like, how this antenna is tuned in is changing our entire life experience. And what is happening right now, you are reconnecting with your inner child, where you are fine-tuning your inner dial and seeing the magic again, seeing this Isis energy again, the energy of the Divine Mother, of this super excitement. And with this one again, there is a star instead of an eye. So you see things through crystal consciousness, through enlightened consciousness, like Christ. KRST is crystal. It means enlightened, like enlightened consciousness, unity consciousness. And it also has to do with your sacral chakra, because it's orange. So the way you connect with that state of consciousness is actually through your passions, through the energy of the inner child. Again, it's a confirmation of that, by being creative and allowing that playful aspect of you to come online. And that's why I'm so excited to channel messages from Source in collaboration with my inner child, because the energy of the inner child, which is also, it is connected to our sacral, it's also connected to sexuality, but it's a pure sexuality. When we create from that pure place, when we are in touch with our passions, and when we maybe have healed sexual trauma, or we have healed the way how we look at things, looking at things from a child's perspective without being conditioned, This is what opens the gates for magic to flow through. And what we want is to have magic in our life, to have joy in our life, to have love in our life, to literally look at everything in life like this Pokemon, like, whoa, so beautiful, so magical, so much passion. Everything is source, everything is love. There can be so much passion, and it's really about opening this hard shell and allowing this softer side of ourselves to come out. And yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy. And I'm super excited to see what comes up for you in the next few weeks or month. So definitely please let me know how this resonates. And I'm also offering personal readings, so if you feel called to have a personal reading, you can find all the information in the description box below. And I'm wishing you a beautiful day whenever you're tuning in, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye, much love. Hello beautiful souls, so this is your reading if you have chosen Manaphy with group number 3. So I'm super excited about this reading. I loved all the messages from the other piles, and I'm very excited to see what comes up for you. Again, we are using a random Pokémon generator to channel messages from source. So you have chosen Manaphy, and Manaphy is a mythical Pokémon from the 4th generation. And this is a special Pokémon already, because again, it's a legendary Pokémon which can only appear once, and Manaphy can only appear on special occasions. So it's not obtainable in the regular gameplay, like there needs to be a special event for this being to show up. And that already tells me a lot about your soul's mission. Like you're usually not coming to Earth, but you have chosen to come here because of a special event, because of this special circumstance that we are experiencing right now on a collective level. So it's almost a soul like you only comes in when help is needed. And with this watery energy, actually Manaphy lives very deep in the ocean. It lives on the ocean bed. So what this tells me is that you are very empathic. You are very compassionate, you're very in tune with the water element. So even if you don't have a lot of water in your chart, this can really allude to this Pisces energy, this Neptune energy, being very connected with spirit. You're definitely connected with spirit. You're definitely also in tune with your heart and very much in tune with the divine feminine. Like this is almost, I'm being made to feel the essence of your soul is more divine feminine than anything else. Obviously, we always have both, but our soul chooses to embody one predominantly. And I feel in your case, it's this nurturing energy, this compassionate energy, this also Pleiadian energy is coming through. But again, what is special about this Pokemon is that this is the only legendary Pokemon which has a pre-evolution or an evolution. I'm not quite sure about the older generations because I never played games from the older generations, but as far as I know, this is the only legendary Pokemon which has this pre-evolution. And the pre-evolution, which is Fiona, can we see it? Yes, here. This is the pre-evolution, and this has been coming up in pile number 1. So if you come from pile number 1, hello. Thanks for listening to your intuition. And if not, then maybe you feel called to pile number 1. Anyway, it's super synchronistic how the Pokemon have been showing up in this reading. But yeah, what this is telling me is that despite being a starseed, despite already being unique, there is something even more unique about yourself. Because again, this is the only Pokemon which has a pre-evolution. And this Fiona, this other Pokemon, cannot evolve into this. So it's a very special thing. And what I'm being told with this is that you are here to bring something to this earth that only you can bring. Because only you can lay this egg so that this new thing is gonna be birthed. Literally no one else can do so. And that's why maybe you feel very connected since the early age with maybe your soul's mission. Maybe from an early age on you always knew that you were here with a specific mission, or you knew that you had to do certain things, or yeah, but I'm almost being made to feel that you right now are learning that you don't have to do this on your own, because it's almost like you're getting to know your power, like you're getting in touch with your power. But again, it's a power that comes from this connectedness with your heart. And it wouldn't shock me if you are an energy worker or a healer, or you already work with spirit in some way. Maybe you are a tarot reader, or maybe you are, again, a Reiki healer or something like that, because it almost feels like this comes so natural to you. So it wouldn't shock me if maybe as a child you were able to pick up on other people's feelings. Again, clairsentience is coming through very, very strongly. So it also wouldn't shock me if your clairsentient abilities are getting stronger at this time. And yeah, beautiful energy. Let's see what else we have. Again, we're using this Random Pokémon Generator to channel messages from Source for pile number 3. So thanks so much for 6 Pokemon for pile number 3. Alright. Let's see what we have. Okay. Definitely. I'm strongly being taken to Seeking, where I'm being taken to the King of Cups energy. And this really tells me that you have mastered your emotions. And when I say emotions, like you have mastered the art of energy transmutation, like you are an alchemist at heart. And with Aerodactyl coming through, that's a dragon Pokemon, and it's a very ancient Pokemon. I believe this is a Pokemon that one of these where you find a meteorite, or is it like a, how do you call this, fossil? A fossil. You find a fossil and you bring it to a museum, and then they can retrieve the DNA and almost create this Pokemon. So what this tells me is that you are a very old soul. You're almost like a fossil. You're on a soul level very ancient, and throughout all of these incarnational cycles, you have gained mastery over energy. Like you have already worked as a shaman or as a healer in a past lifetime. You're very in tune with the cosmic waves. You're very in tune with the mother ocean. I'm being made to feel this is where you retrieve your energy. It's by being close to water. Also, maybe you feel called to live close to the sea, to the ocean, to rivers. Also, maybe, even if you don't do, maybe you want to move there, or this is a dream of yours. But it's more so the energy of the cosmic ocean, where, this is the source of your energy, like you know how to replenish yourself through your own heart, because you know about the art of energy transference. It's almost, you're so pure that when you do your work, you don't have to use your own energy or anything else's energy. Like, you know how to tap into this infinite reservoir of love and of energy. And that's why I'm being made to feel you're a very skilled healer. Because sometimes when, for example, there are healers who do Reiki, very often they are not really tapping into source, or they're not really tapping into, let's say, this pool of energy, but they're almost using their own energy, their own life force energy when healing. And this can make us very depleted, because if we use our own life force energy when we heal others, then literally we cannot go on forever. Like, we have to stop at one point, because it makes us, it sucks us out. But you are so tapped in with spirit, you know how to tap into that reservoir of energy and literally simply open a portal to allow that energy to flow through. And that's a true master. A true healer knows that they're not healing, they're not doing the healing work themselves, but they're literally acting as a portal for energy to come through. And that's the same with channelers. Maybe you are a channeler, maybe you are a tarot reader. The wisdom is not coming from you. you're literally, what you're doing as a channel is opening a portal so that spirit can speak through you, or the information can flow through you. And that's a completely different way of approaching it, where we don't, because for example, so many people say, oh, I cannot do tarot, I cannot read tarot cards because I don't know enough, or I don't know about the meaning, or in general. Like, no, this is a wrong way of approaching it, because we already know everything. And you can see I'm using Pokemon to channel messages from source. Like, we don't have to know anything about tarot in order to be able to channel. We don't have to know anything about any symbol, or about, it's not about the system, but it's about being spontaneous. It's about listening to our intuition and knowing that all the wisdom is inside of us already, because that's the truth. We are the whole universe. We're not separated from it. And with this Bieber Pokemon, I'm being taken to the energy of the Dam. So right now I'm being made to feel that everything which was in the way for this water to flow through, you're almost using your teeth to like bite away all the restrictions. Or also knowing when to place boundaries, knowing when to build a dam so that there is not an overflow of energy. Maybe you have been also very overwhelmed by this influx of information and of energy, and you have learned when to place a dam so that you're not being overwhelmed by all these emotions or by all these feelings. But there is also a feeling of opening the dam, and that's again this mastery that you have, the mastery of working with energy. Like, you know when to be open, you know when to put a boundary, you know how to tap into the source, but you also know when, like you have really mastered the art of energy transmutation. You are a true alchemist. And with this energy, you become a master magnet. Magneton is the most evolved version of this magnet Pokemon. So when you are tapped into this ocean of source, then you know that everything is energy, that it all comes from within. So basically, instead of trying to look at the outside thing, because with this I'm being taken to ice. This is a plant and ice Pokemon, and when we talk about ice, it's about the crystallization, it's about the apparent thing, like it's about the form. Like, you're not chasing the form, you're not chasing the outer thing, but you're almost approaching it from a vibrational aspect, where it takes us to this music note, and this has to do with the song that you play. It's actually very beautiful to see that most of the messages have been very similar. So it's really, again, this focus on what frequency we are vibrating at. Because the vibration that comes out from our heart is the vibration that we are then manifesting or attracting. So you're really tuned in, and you are learning how to master this art of vibration. And that's why I say that you're a very ancient soul. Like, Egypt is also coming through, Arcturus is coming through. You might resonate with having a past lifetimes in Egypt, or also in Arcturus. And this is where you have learned this art of vibration, of changing the song, changing the frequency, and that in itself changes the crystallization. So instead of trying to magnetize that crystal form to you, instead of magnetizing that house, if you want to manifest a house, for example, instead of focusing on the house, you're changing the internal vibration so that it kind of naturally comes to you. But there is something about magnifying things. But I'm feeling called to pull some more Pokemon, generate some more Pokemon as a clarification as to what exactly this is talking about, what is being magnetized, or any more information in regards to that. Let's see. Alright, ooh. Is this? This has been coming up in pile 2 again. And alright, so the message coming through with this one, okay. Deep symbolism coming through here. So with this Pokemon, I'm really being taken to the energy of yin and yang, the energy of Nut, which is also Hathor. It's almost the vault of the sky. And this is the energy of Jep, of the earth. I don't know if you've ever seen this picture where Nut is almost like doing this yoga pose as the sky, and Jep is under that. And that's actually the energy of the vault of heaven, Hathor being the sky, being the great mother, being every star in the universe, like the whole Milky Way, the whole cosmos basically, like the infinite expansion and the infinite vastness of creation. And Jep, which is also connected with the energy of Saturn, the energy of Kronos, is everything that is restrictive. And these two poles, like this infinite expansion, this infinite freedom, and this infinite contraction or restriction, is what allows creation to take place. Because creation takes place between these two poles, where actually it's infinite expansion, but there is limitation in order for it to have a framework, in order for it to have a form. So Jep is actually the 4 points of, like the 4 heavenly directions, where it's almost, it's heaven and earth, but it's these 2 polarities that allow creation to take place. And it's almost about knowing, yes, that there is limitation, but not seeing these limitations as too rigid, because this has been coming through in pile number 2 as well, and it has been coming through with the energy of almost forcing things to happen, almost being frustrated because things are not happening. Maybe you feel frustrated because there is some restriction or some limitation, but what I'm being told that this limitation is crucial for all of creation to unfold, because sometimes roadblocks are here for a specific reason. Because let's say if there would be no structure, there would be no, then everything would be too fluid, and it would almost move into the energy of chaos actually. Because if there is no structure, if there is no interplay between the 2 forces, then Nut is Nun, which is the unmanifest, the great void, the cosmic ocean full of plasma, of fiery plasma, which is the plasma of potential. It's creation, but it's not yet created. But through this limitation that comes in, creation can unfold. So that's the message coming through here, is not being too rigid about the restrictions in your life, not being too rigid about maybe roadblocks you might be experiencing in your creative process, because it's important to know that this is actually the main factor which is crucial for our life. Because otherwise it would attract the energy of chaos, where it would not have an order, not have a structure. Like, we need both. We need the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And when both are balanced, then we can take flight. With this, this is a ghost Pokemon, and it's a, how do you call it, a hot balloon Pokemon. And with this I'm really being taken to detaching yourself from the earth through heat, through air. So you might feel called to also work with breath work right now, or to increase the heat in your energy field, because that heat allows you to transcend these earthly limitations, maybe even these poisons, because this is also a poison Pokemon. And I'm almost being made to feel this, the eyes of this Pokemon, it's very scattered. So it's almost everywhere, everything which was not aligned, or almost the vision not being clear, almost the vision being scattered, almost this focus on what is not working out. And you're right now being asked to transcend this viewpoint, go to a higher perspective, so that you're not looking at, it's about transcending chaos, almost finding order in chaos, and knowing that this order, or that certain restrictions, are part of the whole process. And when you see these restrictions for what they are, then you can literally take flight and you can detach yourself from it. You're looking at it from a higher perspective, but it's very effortless, because as soon as, like, an air balloon naturally goes up. It doesn't need to be force for it to go up. Like, the only thing that needs to be done is letting go of the restrictions. And once they are done, once they're gone, then it's naturally flowing up. So it's almost about seeing these restrictions for what they are. And when you see them for what they are, then you can detach yourself from them. Then you no longer perceive them as a restriction, but actually as a chance to take flight, to manifest your best possible outcome. And with this, it's the first the first evolution of a flying Pokemon. And so what I'm being made to feel with this is that you are rediscovering yourself. You are relearning how to fly. And it's very a similar message coming up in all three piles. It's really about letting go of the poison, letting go of all these restrictions. And again, we let them go by seeing them for what they are. And you're learning how to take flight again. And it's still in the beginning stages. And this can still evolve into another Pokemon. I think this is the first, and there is a second and third evolution. So know that there is so much potential. You're still at the beginning. Like, now it starts. Maybe you are really going through a death and rebirth right now, where you feel that a lot of things are falling away, a lot of things are changing, and a lot of things are ending. But it's an ending so that a new beginning can take place. Something new can be birthed and emerge. And with Togetic, I'm being reminded of, I think it's in the anime, where there is almost a planet, or they move somewhere to some place where there are only Togetics. So with this, I'm really being made to feel this soulmate energy coming through, where by embodying that purity, you're attracting more people of your tribe. Like, you're attracting more beings that vibrate at that frequency, because it's almost, this is the potential then evolved. Because Togepi, that's the previous evolution of this Pokemon, it's a Pokemon which still has an egg. So it never really left the egg. But in this evolution, it left the egg, and this is like the more evolved version of it. So it's almost about, the message coming through, it's safe to get out of your comfort zone again. It's safe to be birthed into creation. It's safe to get out of the womb. It's safe to get out of the cocoon. Maybe you really have been in a cocoon for a very long time, and now is the time to go out of that and to literally take flight, to learn how to fly again. And let's see what else we have. Ooh, okay. Oh my god, love this. All right. So yeah, it's a very similar message again. So this is definitely the message for today from Source. But oh wow, I cannot believe how similar these messages actually are. But yeah, in this pile it's a bit different, because what this is telling us is that, again, the seeds that we are planting, like, we are wanting to plant seeds that are coming from this place of us being empowered. In the sense that with this, I'm really being taken to solar plexus energy. So I'm almost being made to feel that right now you are also reconnecting with your creative power, in the sense that being more confident, being more ambitious, almost like planting seeds from the state of consciousness of being empowered. And maybe you have been letting go of all the gooey, sticky energy, which almost was clouding your solar plexus. Because with 8-8, it's also maybe about manifesting abundance, maybe you wanted to manifest certain things, and actually we manifest things in the physical through our solar plexus. But when there are still energies, this sticky energy in the way, I'm being made to feel self-doubt, or the energy of procrastination, of thinking we're not good enough, thinking that we don't deserve, then we cannot plant a seed from a place of empowerment. And that's why maybe you have been in this cocoon, so that this energy can be released. But it has to do with manifesting abundance, but abundance in the physical realm. And right now you're learning to plant the seeds from this empowered state of being, where you are creating because you want to create and not because you are forced to do something, where you are listening to that natural impulse instead of almost being forced by the outside world to create something or to initiate something. Like, instead of being forced to initiate things from the outside world, you're initiating things from within, from a place of being empowered with your power. And I'm being taken to this fighting Pokemon. This to me is the fully activated solar plexus, where it's like you know how to set boundaries, you know your power, and you're like try to get closer to me, like I know my boundaries, I know my worth now, I know my power now, and you are operating from that level of consciousness. And before, there was this slime in the way. So that's why, again, if there is a restriction in your life, it's just here so that this slime, this toxic gooey texture can be released. And we can open the gateways for new creations. And I'm really being taken to it's a bee queen, the Vespi queen, it says. Beautiful name. Where with this, I'm really being made to feel that you are definitely meant to be in some sort of a leadership position in this lifetime. Because the queen of the beehive, there is only one queen. And if we go back to Manaphy, that's the only Pokemon which has a pre-evolution. So there is something that only you can bring to the table. And that's why in this lifetime there is a focus of being in a leadership position. But with this, I'm being taken to the Queen of Wands, where you are shining your light, where you are in this leadership position and you're inspiring others, you're nurturing others. But the way you nurture, it's not necessarily by giving all of your energy without having boundaries, but it's about knowing your worth, knowing your beauty, knowing how unique you are, how powerful you are, and simply shining that light, simply embodying that energy. And with that, you're already healing, you're already helping other people, because they recognize that energy within yourself. Maybe they recognize a part of themselves within you that they haven't tapped into, and this in itself is inspiring them to activate that aspect. So you don't have to be there like the mother and nurturing them and almost feeding, like spooning them the food into the mouth. No, this is the old way of doing things. Like, this is a very Piscean way of doing things, where we have to sacrifice our own well-being for a higher ideal. But we are in the age of Aquarius now, and we are changing this, so we don't have to keep on giving our life force energy. We don't have to sacrifice our life force energy in order to be abundant, in order to create this empire. But it's literally by us being fully connected with our truth, fully connected with our kingdom, king being, queen being, about us being the leader of the tribe, the very unique expression of, only you can bring something to the table. And that's why it's destined for you to succeed in this lifetime. That's why it's destined for you to, it's really about letting go of worries as to how to manifest certain things, or knowing that you're here to do exactly that. And every time there is self-doubt or something, really being very strong and almost pushing these doubts to the side and knowing I'm the queen. I'm here to slay, I'm here to win, I'm here. Sorry, my camera cut out, but that's exactly the energy. We are here for prosperity, we are here to win, we are here to be the kings and the queens and to fully be in our power. There is a lot of solar plexus and sacral activation also, when we can move from the passion. What I'm being made to feel is that you have been working on aligning the lower chakras. Because I'm being made to feel you're very strong in the higher realms. With Crobat coming through, you're very strong, you're very intuitive, you're very empathic, you're very tapped in. Your biggest strength in this lifetime has to do with your upper chakras, all the way from the heart, the throat, the inner eye, and the crown, and everything above that. And it's almost, what is coming through here is that you're learning to detach yourself from the poison and the karmic energies that almost have been clogged in the lower chakras, so that you can be a fully embodied being. Because we can be a fully embodied being when we have both. We have to be strong in the higher realms, but we also have to be strong while applying ourselves in this physical realm. And I'm being made to feel this is something that you're learning here. Like one of the things you also wanted to learn on a soul level is learning how to master the physical realm. And that's why maybe there has been a lot of healing going on, especially in the solar plexus or in the lower chakras. Also the root chakra is coming up, because this is a crucial step in you fully, you fully standing in your power. And with this Pokemon, I'm being taken to the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is really about having this integrated perspective, because the King of Swords is intelligent, it sees the truth, but it's almost a next level of seeing the truth. Because when you think about the Ace of Swords, for example, that's like the truth, but it's like seeing the truth of source, let's say, or having clarity, seeing things clearly. But the King of Swords, that's almost a next level of clarity, where you're not only seeing the things for what they are, but you're also understanding why things are the way that they are. Does this make sense? Like, it's a next level of perception, a next level of looking at things, where it's not only the apparent outside thing, but it's really a bigger understanding. Like, it's hard to find the words to describe this, but you're mastering your perception, and it's connected with the heart. Again, a lot of heart chakra energy is also coming through. So I'm almost being made to feel that through this solar plexus activation, it's allowing your heart chakra to open even more, where you are mastering your perception. Because I'm being made to feel your unique perception is your greatest gift in this lifetime. And that's why you're here to be in some sort of a leadership position. Because what you have, only you can bring. Your super unique perspective, or your super unique invention, or whatever you're manifesting or creating in this lifetime, only you can bring this to the table. Because now you are this master, this evolved, the fully evolved plant. And with plant Pokemon, I'm being taken to the swords. So it's about stepping into that King of Swords energy and having the clarity, just having clarity. Like, I'm being made to feel your chakras are very much being cleared right now, so that I'm being made to feel that right now you're so close into stepping into a new chapter of your life, where it has to do something with Aquarius energy. I'm also being taken to this part here, this web, something about networking, something about creating, and your intelligence, your way of looking at things, this is what is most needed. And this way of looking at things is actually what will make you prosperous and abundant and successful in your life. Because we're not just talking about material success, but also about being successfully yourself, successfully being true to yourself, and doing what you love. And this is like a win-win situation, because you do the things that you're happy, but at the same like you're shining your light like the Queen of Wands, but at the same time you're also serving the community. You are rich, you're like maybe getting a lot of material abundance, but at the same time you're also helping other people to have material abundance. So it's really creating this win-win situation for all the parties involved. And this has very much to do with the systems of New Earth, where it's not only about the enrichment of the individual, it's not only about being the king or the queen, or being like celebrities which are in like fame. It's not about the individual accomplishments, but the next step of what success means is about the collective accomplishment. You can still shine, you can still be on your throne, but it's not only about what you have done for yourself, but it's about what you have done for the community by being yourself. And that's the paradigm shift. That's this new way of looking at things, where you're not seeing the truth for what it is, but you also understand why things had to go the way that they are. And this is how you transcend them. This is like you can be, haha, I'm seeing behind the illusions and nothing can go into my way. And I'm planting this seed out of this place where I see things clearly, where I am connected with my spirit guides, with the higher realms, but I'm also connected with my inert power, and I'm moving forward. And all the seeds that I'm planting from this place are gonna be sprouting into, this is the next evolution of this Pokemon is a sunflower. And that's the energy of the sun. That's the energy of the sun card in the tarot, this integrated cosmic inner child, ultimate happiness, ultimate fulfillment in the physical realm, and us embodying our star being, where we understand that we are a star. And when I say, for some of you that are asking in my intro, I always say my name is Luca, and Luca means light. So light is my name in the sense that what I am shining, how I call myself, let's say, and I am a star. And a star being, we are stars, we are suns, we are the sun basically, like we are emanations from stars. And when we operate from that level of consciousness that we are the sun, this is ultimate solar plexus activation, where we know that the creative energy that comes from our solar plexus is the same creative energy that also makes stars shine, because we literally come from the stars. Physically, our carbon atoms come from stardust, and also spiritually, our higher selves come from stars. But it's even more than that. Like, it's really like you are remembering who you are. You're activating Christ consciousness. You are bringing in all these aspects. Again, I feel all the 3 piles are very, very much connected. So if you feel called to also look at the other piles, there is definitely also going to be some messages for you in there as well. But I absolutely love this reading. This is so amazing. I hope you can see how excited I am. My inner child is thriving. And yes, please let me know how you like this format, if you want me to do some more videos in this style. But yeah, I actually really wanted to now experiment on how to channel with different media, not only using my tarot cards or oracle decks, but see how much we can do. And this has also to do with this message. It's about experimenting. That's the energy of the sun, of the inner cosmic child, where we understand that we are the sun and we can create infinite possibilities, we can create infinite realities, and we are the ones creating all these realities, because the light that is at our core, that's the light of consciousness. And my consciousness, my light, is none different than the light from the sun or the consciousness from the sun. We come from there, and light is consciousness, beingness, presence. We are creator beings. And you're remembering that you are the creator. And this is, again, this ultimate activation of the star, the activation of your inner star, of your solar plexus and your heart and your soul. And oh, so beautiful, beautiful energy. So thank you so much. This is the message for today. Please let me know how you resonate with the messages. And I'm also offering personal readings. So if you feel called to book a personal reading, you find all the information in the description box below. And I'm wishing you a beautiful day or whenever you're tuning in. And I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye. Much love.